Gym teacher told an entire class he wanted to beat me up. I tend to block this out of my memory a lot, but as much as I want to deny it, it definitely happened, so here we go. When I was in 8th grade, I wasn't and still am not very active at all, so gym wasn't a very fun time for me, especially kickball, because all attention is averted to me. One particular day in the spring, we were inside again playing football. A boys' PE teacher, whom I'll call Z, was passing the ball to the kicker. When it came to my turn, I didn't really kick it well enough, and it was considered a foul ball maybe 2 or 3 times. He just seemed annoyed. Eventually, of course, I did get it, and we moved on. I thought that was the end of it, but oh boy was I wrong. When I wasn't in the locker room, Z apparently told the rest of his entire class that he wanted to drag me into the hallway by my hair and beat me to a pulp. I heard this from a kid in a few of my classes who told my boyfriend he knew it was me because of my kicking, and I am mixed race, the only one in the class, and I believe Z said something like that black kid. My boyfriend handed me a note later that day and told me to stay as far away from Z as I can. He told me about the situation when we had the time together. On the surface, I think I seemed really calm and like I was handling the situation well. I was not. I was terrified of Z at this point and scared now to F up in PE. This eventually got around in my friend group. However, nobody knew that it was me Z was talking about. I heard a lot more accusations about Z, that he groped students, hit students, was racist, was sexist, homophobic, and more and more and more. This made me panic more internally, really. But somehow, don't ask me because I have no clue, my boyfriend snooped around Z's things in school and found out that he takes medication because he is bipolar. I still did see him around the school for the rest of the school year, but it didn't last too much longer, as I believe it was May that rumor has it Z was fired after that school year. I never want him to go through with those threats on another student. I'm a sophomore in high school now, and I don't have an insane gym teacher, so Mr. Z, let's not meet. To the kid in my gym class. Posting on Throwaway because I don't want this stuff linked to my actual account. Context, I'm a 15, 16-year-old white male straight. The other guy is also a 15 to 16-year-old Hispanic dude. Not sure if straight or gay. So, the story starts beginning of the school year 2017 sophomore year. Gym class rolls in and a new kid I know picks a locker really close to me. I don't mind because I thought he was chill and stuff, you know? However, more and more I notice him peering at me while I'm changing. Now I know it's all fun and stuff to be bros and joke about body and stuff, so I don't mind at all. Until the peering became not only constant, but more and more obvious, to the point where he literally watches me while he gets dressed the whole time. I still haven't taken any action because I thought, well, maybe he's just socially awkward or gay or something, so I don't want to frame him as a creep, so I go minding my own business and do nothing about it. The swim unit comes and we start doing laps and stuff. However, I notice that he diverges from the rest and tries to swim closer to me. I get into a conversation with him and he's acting normal now, but then he gets too close to me and starts touching me with his leg under the water. I'm like, that's really strange, and I back off a bit. A few more days of this pass by, and one time during some back and forth swimming routines, he literally gets way too close to comfort when there is plenty of space elsewhere. I then tell him, hey dude, do you mind? Sort of low on some space here. And he doesn't say anything and moves away a tiny bit, but not too much. Still really creeping me the hell out. But hey, really socially awkward or gay still? I go back to my locker after routine is over and start to change. But then once again he starts staring at me creepily. That's when I decided to change my locker to a diagonally facing section locker in the back where he can barely see me. After I changed the locker, things got significantly better. He's not peering as often. However, now during gym class, this kid is actively trying to move closer to me, even squeezing through the class to get closer to me. And you see, I would be really fine with this, but he always tries to get in front of me where I can see him, or really close behind me where it gets creepy. So I try to surround myself with some friends and see if that can make him stop, but no, somehow he still manages. He also comes out of the lockers right after I do, which signifies that he probably waits for me. I decide to run away to another one to use. While waiting for everyone to change their gym clothes to normal clothes to continue class, I decide to leave earlier before the gym teacher comes and sees if he follows. He never leaves early, but sure enough, when I started to leave, I noticed him following in the reflection, so I started to run, and it shook him off and returned to gym class to wait. He never returned, and he definitely was following me, because there is no way that he took those same turns and everything as me. Fast forward another couple of days of me doing the exact same thing, I decide to do one more last test. If this works, then he is definitely a friggin' creep. My plan was to change fast, run into the gym before anyone else, and climb all the way up the folded bleachers, basically have a bird's eye view on him coming through the entrance without him seeing me. So I try the plan. I get ready, change really fast, sprint up the stairs, and climb those bleachers really high. 5 seconds later, he walks through the door, doesn't see me, almost right above him, and then some words I feared. Where the hell is he? I shudder, but I stay quiet. Then he exits, but I decided to wait. He decides to try another entrance, and then spots me on the bleachers, and then realizes that I was there the whole time. We lock eyes, made eye contact, and his eyes were very cold. He then slowly walks away to where the class starts, and I stay up there for a while until other people start gathering in. I tried one more time, but he didn't fall for it. He came out with the rest of the guys for once. Now, he still follows me around during class time, and I try my hardest to shake him off. I'm planning to confront him about it really, but I really don't want to, you know? He still peeks at me as he passes by in the locker rooms, and now I change really fast as to get away and not give him the pleasure of looking at me at all. Yeah, freaky. He's also in a couple of my other classes too. Do things like bump into me or walk real close to me or just, glance at me. But since those classes are more crowded, it's a bit safer. But it's almost the new year, so yeah, if you're reading this, kid, stop. I really don't want to be rude, but just freaking stop. It's just so damn annoying and creepy. Thanks for reading. Update. Alright, so thanks to you all that were showing your support for me. I appreciate it. Now to what you all want to hear. So, I did a little confrontation last week. This kid, like always, followed me around, and literally, even though I was watching my back, he would still end up directly behind me. So after gym, I loudly called him a creep, really fucking loud, and he doesn't even look at me anymore. He's got this really angry look on his face now. I showed a couple kids my post too. Let's just say he won't be doing anything to me anymore. I mean, he wasn't hurt or anything, but he got a rude awakening. I think maybe even someone showed him that post. Anyways, tomorrow's my last day of school, so good thing I got it over with. Wish me luck on my finals. Thanks for your help. The throwaway. Knew a guy that helped kill a girl. So, I was in 7th grade. I never really had a boyfriend before, and I was very shy. My friend's brother was in wrestling, and I saw a cute boy. His name was Lee. He was real rough and childish, and I was attracted to him. So my friend got us to meet, and we traded numbers. It turns out he was in my gym class, and we would talk once in a while, and all that kind of fun stuff, look at each other, kind of be shy around each other just before classes. I was honestly too shy. I couldn't look him in the eye for some reason. I heard many things about how he got into fights in school or getting into trouble somehow. I doubt we had much in common, just physical attraction, I guess. But I would also call him, But most times, his stepdad would rip the phone cord out of the wall. He was always fighting with his stepdad. I would stress my worry, but he'd always play it off. But I felt still weird around him, and eventually we grew distant. I think we stopped talking since our classes changed. Time had passed, and I had nearly forgotten about him, Lee. I still remembered his name and last name, though. My mom was reading the newspaper about this girl who was killed. They found out she had an expensive truck, and found out she had a lot of money saved up, too. They had planned to kill her to get her truck and her money. There was an older brother and a younger one. And when I saw it, I froze. In the news, the younger one was Lee. They attacked her in her bedroom and killed her. They stole her money and car. They didn't get far, though, before they were caught. They were identified at a gas station getting supplies before the murder. Lee went to juvenile jail for a long time. I was shocked, and I was glad, though. I never got too close to him. Never had anything physical happen, you know. He was very disturbed, man, it turns out. So, let's not meet again, Lee.